wanna make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Bank.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Darnold. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Gone! 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 Gone!
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold dancing to his left. And it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and hoping for more here in Week 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now they'll run it on the toss. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Play fake, and it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll give to Elliott. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they try the right side here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Taco Charlton in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Lucky 56.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Off of play action, Darnold flush to his right, letting one go deep for a noon one. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked up by Anthony Brown, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
26.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The give is to Elliott, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll try and run forward with Elliott. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that, see if he can brace up, and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Detroit!
It's a quarterback sneak, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's their quarterback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. A handoff left, Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Prescott. And the Jets pressure 2 notches. Down he goes. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas where the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And some room to roam now. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. 104 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Darnold. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. First down, it's Darnold. Got an open man, it's Enunwa. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Detroit! Detroit!
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Check.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets have made this a one-score game. And he puts it through. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start on the ground with Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. A second down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Here's Elliott. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Terrence Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 47 yards.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. This is Elliott. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Right back to him on first down. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Cowboys on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott from the gun. And he's got it to Hearns. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. First down, Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jamal Adams. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the interception, here's Darnold rolling to his right. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Jets on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll drop the throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. The quick slant caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. They'll run forward with Tariq Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. And he knocks it through. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's loose again. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there with what they'll score a 106-yard return. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Play action. It's Darnold. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Darnold down to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Room here to run. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Complete out right to Kurz. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One final shot. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cowboys, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.